So, I want to talk to everybody today about a couple things. The big things I want to talk to people today about are prison, incarceration, compassion, and making this a better place for us, not only here in Oregon, where it's really, 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 really wonderful, and I hope you all realize that. Right now, I've got enough marijuana in my pocket to send me to prison for the rest of my life in certain places in the United States, okay? So I want you to understand that. You're living in a place right now where marijuana is very, very legal. There's a lot of people in this country who don't have that. They don't have that ability. And so what I want to talk about today, and one of the people I really want to talk about, is Bernard Noble. Does anybody here know who Bernard Noble is? Raise your hand if you know who Bernard Noble is. I got you, Russ. I got my team over here. I got Raphael over here. I got anybody else. Anybody else here who's done 5+ years in prison? Anybody? You back there. Come up for a minute. I want you to come up. It's important. And you don't have to, I'm not going to say anything about you specifically, but I want people to understand something here. We've got this man here who's done over 5 years in prison. Understand that. Bernard Noble, Louisiana, 13-year minimum mandatory sentence. Can anybody tell me how much marijuana Mr. Noble had on him when he was sentenced to 13 years in prison for a mandatory minimum? Miss Johnson, come up here. That much marijuana. This sent a man to prison for 13 goddamn years. Okay? A lot of lawyers worked really hard. A lot of people worked really hard. A lot of advocates worked really hard. Can anyone tell me how much time Mr. Noble actually served? 7 years. 7 goddamn years in prison for an amount of marijuana. Can you hold that up for me, Miss Johnson? That amount of marijuana sent a man to prison for 7 years in this country right now, okay? That's what we're living with in America. This bottle right here, this is 30 years to life in Mississippi. This is what stops people's seizures. This is what stops people from being in chronic pain all day. This is what stops people from hurting every day of their life. And for some of us out there, it just makes us feel good after work so we don't have to drink 3 shots of whiskey. Okay? So, I want to be really clear. We live in an amazing place in Oregon. Any one of you who's 21 years of age or older, or 18 and older and a medical patient, can walk into a store and buy this. This was given to me today by someone who has the right to make it because Oregon has home grow. We have the right to grow your own medicine or recreation as you see fit, and we fought really hard for that privilege. Not every state has that. Every state will have that. That will happen. That day will come back because that day was not that long ago. We will end marijuana prohibition entirely in this country. One day at a time, one person at a time, one prisoner at a time. I want you to understand, though. I want you, everyone in here, to think for a moment. This gentleman spent 5+ years in prison, okay? What I want right now from everyone here is something really simple, and it's silence. I want everyone here to take 30 seconds, and I want you to think about what it would be like to spend the next 5 years of your life in prison for the amount of marijuana that I'm holding in my hand. Okay? I'm going to time it. I'm going to shut up. It's really rare that I shut up. So starting now, 30 seconds of silence. You just did 30 seconds. The man who just walked off the stage did 5 years. Bernard Noble did 7 years, 4 months and a couple days. And he's on parole. He's still getting drug tested every month. He's still in the position that if he screws up in the slightest, if he so much as runs a red light, that man's back in prison over 2 grams of marijuana. So I want everyone here today to think about what it would be like to spend that amount of time in a metal cage over a plant. Because that's what we're still dealing with in America. Every single one of you here today has the right to walk around as long as you're an adult with an ounce of marijuana in your pocket and no one gets to say much else to you. And that's a wonderful privilege that we live in such a place, but it's not finished. Just because it's done here doesn't mean it's done everywhere else. I don't know if you noticed or not, but my accent ain't from here. I'm originally from North Carolina. My family members died in prison, okay? I had friends and family who were in cages. They went there for years and years and years for an amount of marijuana that honestly people in stores here throw on a counter and can sell to you. I want you to understand that we have it really, really good. We have it amazing in Oregon. We have a system here that rivals any in the U.S. Are we going to make it better? Yes. There are problems with it. Everyone here knows if you're involved in this fight that it's not perfect. But what I want you to understand is that when people come here from Mississippi, when they come here from Louisiana, when they come here from Idaho, when they come here from the South, when they come here from other countries where marijuana is the death penalty, they come to a place that allows them freedom, that allows the compassion, and allows us to live in a better world because we get to share with those people. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of you, okay? I'm going to do one last thing, and I do it every year. I have to do it, and it is this. This is my lighter. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's my business card. It's what I give out to people. It's my way of making the world a better place because it's free legal advice that'll keep you out of 99% of your problems. What we're going to do is we're going to walk through it. It says one simple thing. Am I free to go, officer? If I am being detained, I do not consent to any searches, and I want to speak with my attorney prior to answering any questions. Once again, am I free to go, officer? If I am being detained, I do not consent to any searches, and I want to speak with my attorney prior to answering any questions. I can't fix every single one of your problems, but what I can do with this is keep the cops out of your life, out of your car, out of your home, out of your lives, out of your children's lives, and make the world a better fucking place.